You are my cup of tea. What? Come on. Welcome back to Peculiar Portions, everyone. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
How's Daff?
He is...
Stuffed.
He's just staring into space. Just completely lost. I think he might have had some edibles.
Oh, yeah.
He's just lost in his own little world.
I hope so.
And I wish I was as well.
But you're not.
Lost in my own world, not his own world.
A doggy...
God knows what dogs sort of hallucinate and...
Maybe some story like this, actually.
Yeah, this is a wild one.
Cock Up has 3 giant stone penises stolen from shop.
So...
First of all, there's a shot of a street.
Yeah.
Where there are just stone penises everywhere.
Yeah, there's like, instead of bollards outside, well, I guess they are bollards, but instead of your typical...
Well, they have bollocks.
Instead of your, like, typical iron bollard
It
or
is
pole...
a stone shaft.
It is a series of stone willies and balls. The balls seem quite small compared to the size of the willies.
It's cold though.
Okay, sure.
So, you know.
Now, it does say stolen from shop, but it looks like the police removed them and they were outside the shop on like a public sort of right of way.
Well, it also says 3 giant stone penises stolen.
And there are 5.
There's 5 in this
least.
picture.
Yeah.
Can we get some more information from reputable news source, The Metro?
The Metro. Probably London's best free newspaper. It's free,
I would
right?
say. A CCTV cock-up has left cops facing a hard job.
So North Yorkshire Police received a lot of complaints because this guy had concrete willies in his shop.
Sure.
The police bowed to pressure. They buckled.
Pussies.
And they returned the penis that they had previously taken.
Oh.
And this was back in 2010.
So they've been holding on to that for 11 years.
No. A different story, and this is why this is confusing. A different story.
An unrelated penis seller.
11 years afterwards, this year, 3 of these cock ornaments were stolen in the evening.
Gigantic cocks.
So 3 cocks were stolen, 5 cast iron stags, and 5 concrete dogs.
Oh.
Oh my lord. That's a big one.
It's got like a... Wow. Okay. No, fine.
It's just very confusing because in this article there's these 2 different stories. So this is nothing to do with the police taking them. There's like a picture of the police seizing it.
Cocks.
That was previously.
Would you say the police were grabbing
Previously
a cock?
in Stone Cock News.
Rock cocks news.
The cock cops.
Cock up cops. Snatch rock cocks. God, sorry.
Snatch and cock. Yeah. Look, the man, he's like pointing at an empty space where there used to be something.
Used to be a cock here. Now it's just a depression in the ground where the cock used to be.
So there was CCTV that captured the thieves.
People in the local area love this cock. But
They
no
did.
more. Bloody police coming in, taking my cock.
But this wasn't the police.
So it wasn't even police, thieves.
This is thieves.
Local yobs. Using cocks for their own devices. God knows what they're doing with those cocks now.
I can't believe anyone would want to steal some concrete willies.
The shop owner said.
That's an actual quote. So it was captured on CCTV, but the lighting was so bad that they couldn't identify the thieves at all.
What is the deal with the, phalluses on the road like that?
Have you seen the fucking name of this fucking, cafe next door?
Beavers. Oh my god. So there's a place next door named that. How does this happen?
You can get tea and coffee, breakfast, lunch, dinner, jacket potatoes, toasties and sandwiches, I guess.
We should pop down. I went to that toilet bar
A toilet bar. Oh my god,
The toilet
did you
cafe.
really?
I went to it. Yeah, I sat down and had a coffee, and I realised after about 10 minutes that I was actually sat
On a toilet.
where a toilet was.
And your trousers are around your ankles.
No, there was a sort of a semicircular line where the toilet clearly used to be in the ground, and I was sat somewhere where people had shat.
How many people? Tens of thousands.
I was thinking about it. I don't think they even cleaned it up very much because it was quite sort of. They're giving it a wipe down, I think, but it was still quite grimy. There was a big, like, kind of pipe hole in the middle.
Okay.
Which was quite stained. It's quite nice. I had a brownie.
Oh yeah, it does sound lovely. Sounds lovely.
Had a chocolate brownie.
You had a chocolate brownie.
I know, of all things.
Oh my god! Was it in the shape of a turd?
It was rounded. It wasn't turd shaped. It wasn't rounded off. It was squared off like a brownie should be. But I nibbled it into the shape of a turd.
Was it an edge one?
An edge? Oh, no, it wasn't an edge one. It was a middle bit.
That's the good shit. The edge brownies.
It wasn't crunchy, but
that's the good shit.
No, I visited. We talked about this in a previous episode. I have to take you now. I've scoured it out. It's fine. I went in the back actually because I was looking for a table initially. So it's like this. It's sort of an entrance area where
a cloakroom.
Yeah, and then there's an area in the back with a lot more kind of cubicles. And each of the cubicles had some hipsters in there on their iPads.
Oh yeah, doing their work.
And they were all just lost in,
it's like their
projects.
Office.
Yeah, they're basically using it as the spare office.
Free Wi-Fi, probably.
I, for one, am happy with.
What's the Wi-Fi password? PP-poo-poo-69.
Anyway, let's carry on with the poo news.
I don't think there's much. It's not poo news, it's cock
news, whatever.
I think there's much to it. It's just if anyone has any information about like a meter
giant
high
stone cocks.
Yeah, cock.
Well, I think you'd notice, wouldn't you, if you saw them? They're not easy to hide.
No.
Unless someone's got them in their living room. But you'd notice
really
if you went round.
Really weird, isn't it?
Call in to Northumbria, Teesside Police.
Teesside Police. Hello? Yes, I've seen a giant cock. It's in my pants. Hello, 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 hello. Don't do that.
Definitely don't do that.
Are there any comments?
Don't record it and post it. In unrelated news.
It's pretty related.
Right, go on.
So, we were just talking about giant stone phalli, and now we're talking about a plague in Egypt.
Oh, a place where there are many giant stone things.
Yes!
Good connection.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So 3 people have been killed and many injured.
Rest in peace.
After storms have roused scorpions.
The storms came, Lewis, and they woke up the scorpions.
And
they went on a rampage.
They look quite small.
Well,
how many?
They may look small, but how many of them were there? Millions?
Well,
billions?
Let's find out.
I don't know if it says how many exactly.
Hordes of venomous scorpions have been roused out of their hiding places into streets and homes.
It's not good.
Inclement weather.
It's not good when they're described as hordes.
That is not what you want to hear, no. Vicious rain, dust storms and snow in the southern city of Aswan last week. This was in November this year. Drove out scorpions as well as snakes. Oh my gosh. We haven't had snow. 3 people have died from scorpion stings. We might have had snow by the time this goes out. And 450 people have been injured by the stings thus far. Good grief.
Yeah.
This is serious business.
Can you imagine, though? You're like, you're hanging out your laundry. There's a bit of a gust of wind, and you're like...
Yeah, you're tending to your big stone cock. You're putting a ribbon round it. Giving it a bell,
hanging a bell from it as well.
Polishing it.
Yeah, polishing the bell.
Cock.
Yeah. And
suddenly, from under the balls.
No.
Scurries.
You're racing way too far ahead. You're racing way too far ahead. You're hanging out your laundry. You're taking care of your garden. It's got poisonous plants. It's got giant stone cocks. The whole works. And you just feel like, oh, what's that on my cheek? It's like a little splash of water. And you look up. You can see, there's a few grey clouds. And you're like, oh, I think it's going to start raining. I better get the laundry in. So getting the laundry in. You're putting it in the hamper. It starts pouring down. You're sat there in the kitchen. You've got a big mug of tea. And you're just watching the rain. You're like, it's actually quite pleasant. And then, the next day, you're like, you wake up, the sun is shining, it's a beautiful day, you open the blinds, you open the window wide, you look down, and there's just millions of scorpions covering every inch of the ground.
Right. And there's like dead grandmas scattered around. I was only tending to your cock.
Excuse me?
Well, she was making sure your cock was...
Oh, right. Yeah.
Had the ribbon.
Stone one. Yeah.
Well, these things can be a magnet for the local area. There was this guy in America who had a problem with his the bins not being taken out.
Oh my God, I thought you were going to say his cock.
No.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure that's too. But there was a problem with the bins, and so he put up... Oh, that's right. People were dumping rubbish on, like, the verge in the middle of the street.
Right.
And so he cleared it all off and put a Buddha statue there.
Right.
And now it's like a magnet for people. They come from miles around to like tend the Buddha, to like put stuff down. It's like evolved. Like someone painted it gold.
Is this good or bad?
It's good.
Like they don't leave litter.
There's no litter anymore.
Okay.
It's now a lot of Buddhists.
Where is this?
In America.
In America?
I think it's in Oakland.
What the fuck?
Actually, which we've been to. Long time ago.
Weird time.
Very weird. That's when I had that nut allergy thing.
Yeah, and I had to try and keep you calm.
And my lips swelled up like massively.
It's not that bad.
And I was like, don't worry about it. My lip look?
Yeah, don't eat any more of that salad. That lovely. You asked for a lovely healthy salad, salad, and they gave you something with shitloads of nuts.
Peanuts.
Which is great. Good job.
Not ideal.
Good job.
But that was fine. That was a good time. Anyway.
You didn't die because... allergies can be very dangerous. What if you're allergic to scorpions and you get bitten by 100 of them?
Exactly. Like
what if you're eating your
folks...
salad? You dip your fork into the salad. There's a fucking scorpion in your salad.
Exactly. That's the last thing you want.
You think it's part of the meal. You think it's a nut because you don't know what nuts are.
You've never seen them. Yeah. So obviously these poor folks coming out, battling their way through. Snow. And I was originally thinking the dust storms were going to have blown the scorpions up.
Not a tsunami, a tornado of fucking scorpions.
Well, when they say a plague of stuff, I always assume it's been blown in on the wind. Do you know what I mean?
Like the plague of frogs. It rains frogs from the
I'm
sky.
not thinking they're hopping over, because I'm like, that's not hard. We can just walk backwards.
Okay.
They're hopping to walk. They're only frogs.
Okay.
Scorpions, though, they scuttle from rock to rock. They come out of the cracks.
Yeah. They move quick.
You're scared. It's great that it's happened in Egypt, though.
Not here.
Because, in a sense, this obviously isn't the first time it's happened. Inclement weather has been happening for millennia.
Right.
So it shows that the Bible may have some truth to it.
Yeah, Moses. It's real. Moses was real.
The other plagues locusts, they plague around.
Boils.
How could you do that?
Death of the firstborn was the last one. Okay, what were the other ones? What were the other ones? Okay, frogs, locusts, boils.
Plague of...
There were 10, right? We can only name 4.
Did people get
Okay, hang on.
tails or something? Do people get grow tails?
And they got cat ears as well, and they started going yeah.
That was
really
a
weird,
serious
really
one.
Sexy, really weird.
Really weird.
What are the other plagues? I'm not going to look them up. We got to try and figure it out. But at least get 2 more.
10 Commandments next. What's this going to turn into?
They can't have all been animals, but I think there were a lot of animals.
Do you reckon there were some larger ones,
A plague of buffalo.
or donkeys or
A plague
camels?
of donkeys. That would have been amazing.
We're not going to look it up.
I really want to. Okay, boils. Wasn't there another one
related to boils?
Something boily.
Warts, rashes. Itchy asshole.
Norovirus. Everyone started just puking and shitting. Maybe diarrhea was one of them.
Maybe.
One of the plagues of Egypt. Diarrhea.
Are you sure there were 10?
I'm pretty sure there were.
I don't reckon there were 10. There were probably only
Pretty
6.
sure. Hang on. Okay, we got the
fuck.
Wikipedia.
Okay, turning water to blood.
Oh, I could forget that one.
Turning water to blood. That's bad. You wake up in the morning, you take a little sip from your glass of water. Ugh, what's this? It's congealed blood.
Tastes like iron brew.
How long's that been
Lovely.
there? Weird. Turn on the taps, blood comes out.
You have a shower, blood.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's a whole
blood.
thing. It's a whole thing. As you go into a restaurant, you know, what do you want to drink? We'll just have a jug of blood, please. You know, I mean water.
Do you want the sparkling or still? Frogs,
Obviously.
right? Lice or gnats.
Or gnats. They're different though, aren't they?
Wild animals or flies. I guess in the translation it's hard to tell what specifically they were talking about.
What do you mean? What's the difference between wild animals or flies? Why are they so not specific?
Something was attacking the animals, a swarm of them,
Right.
but it didn't say what exactly, I guess.
Okay.
So it could have been ticks. Well, I did say they were flying.
I guess they didn't keep great records back in the day.
Well, no, it's more that it's translation. So in the period of the time, right, people would refer to the animals or the bug or whatever by a specific term, and then in the future we look back and we're like, okay, what do they actually mean by this word?
Right.
Like it would be commonplace that they would refer to, you know, a fly as this word. But actually, literally, the meaning of that thing may not actually be fly, and that's where it gets confusing.
Okay, but I feel like you'd know if it was either wild animals or flies. They can't be the same word.
I guess no. It's probably flies.
Sure.
Flies.
Pestilence of livestock.
That matches the flies.
Is that
right?
like boils on animals?
They all get sick. A plague. Horses, donkeys, camels.
They could have come
cattle,
up with
sheep,
something
and
better
goats.
for this.
They all got sick.
Do you know what I mean?
Boils.
Obviously.
Boils. Festering boils on men and animals. The
Right.
poor animals. They didn't fucking do anything. Harsh.
Well, maybe they were sinners, though. You
Oh
know?
my god.
Maybe they'd been fornicating in the fields and deserved to... I mean, actually, most of these plagues seem to hit the animals, which is pretty bad. Most of these plagues were not a problem to humans.
Look at 7.
Thunderstorm of hail and fire. What does that mean? Thunderstorm of hail and fire. So just lightning? Just like a thunderstorm?
I
It's not
guess
really
the
a plague,
lightning
is it?
set fire to things.
Right. Yeah, it does that.
And I guess, you know, a thunderstorm and hail, they do go together.
Yeah.
Locusts.
Classic.
Darkness for 3 days. That was the penultimate one.
That's a pretty bad one. I mean, that's a warning.
That fucks with people.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, Jesus.
Is it morning yet? I don't have a clock.
But it was only in Egypt that this happened.
They didn't have clocks back then at all. They had no way to tell. How did they know it was 3 days?
Because the sun didn't come up. So how would they know?
It could have just been an hour.
Maybe there was a guy that came from, you know, the next
Town
country
over.
over. Morocco. I don't even know. It's like, hey, just come in from Morocco.
It's been 3 days, I haven't heard from you.
yeah.
What you been doing?
There you go.
You been asleep all this time? Fucking hell.
And then death of every firstborn son.
I mean, that's a bad one.
That's a very bad one.
I'd be fucked.
Yeah. You're the first. I'm the firstborn.
There'd be no Yogscast.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Well, you've got an older brother, Lewis.
No, younger brother.
Okay.
I just had to remember that for a second.
You were trying to work it out as well.
But does it only work for... If I have a son, does that make me immune, though, at that point?
No, it's the firstborn in each generation, right?
God, that's a lot of people.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
the
It was
majority.
a lot of people.
Right.
But they have big families.
Well, even if you're like a granddad,
But then
and you
a
were
lot
the
of-
firstborn son. A long time ago.
Yeah. And then if your granddad dies, that means that your dad ceases to exist. And then you, like Marty McFly, slowly disappear.
Wow. Pretty serious.
This carving of Lewis, it's fading. It's fading. The stone carving I made of him is disappearing.
So are we saying that scorpions were not one?
Scorpions weren't one, unless they were flying scorpions.
Or they used a different word.
Yeah, it could have been.
For them. Do you know what I mean? Back in the day. Like gnats.
I like how they're called fat-tailed scorpions as well. Like,
That makes them sound scarier.
It does, doesn't it? Like, because the tail's the dangerous bit, right?
Yeah, although, if they maybe they don't move as fast.
Well, you get the boo-boo from.
So maybe they're not that. Maybe if it was like thin-tailed scorpions, it would be scarier. Because they'd be more...
What about the long-legged scorpion?
That would be horrible, yeah. Like a daddy long legs. What about a flying, long-legged scorpion? Oh, why do these not exist? They'd be badass. They'd be killing...
Isn't that kind of what daddy long legs are? Kind of.
No.
They fly around. They're very, very poisonous.
They're not, though, are they?
They got no way of delivering
No, that's
poison.
just an urban myth.
No, Ricky Gervais said it, so it must be true.
It's not true.
Ricky Gervais told... Wait, Ricky Gervais, everything he says is a lie. He said God isn't real.
So that means...
The plagues really happened!
Well, they must have been based on something.
Yeah. I mean, the river...
A thunderstorm.
Water turning red.
A normal natural event.
Water turning red, that could just be like
an eclipse.
Silt, like red sand or red soil or some fucking reddy dirt got into the water. A bit of erosion made it disappear.
It's definitely the eclipse thing is a common thing.
Eclipse was 3 days. That could be an exaggeration.
Exactly. That's how things
go. 3 minutes. It was... They had no way to measure the time.
They didn't know how long it was.
They were like, oh my god, it feels like it's been 3 days without the sun.
It was 3 days. Yeah, that's what happens when stories spread. They get exaggerated. You can't help it. In related news, deputies respond after large pig named Papa Pig blocks traffic in SC County.
Now, I want to know, is he named after the Peppa Pig character of Peppa Pig?
Isn't that Daddy Pig?
He's called Daddy Pig, yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe in the American version.
No,
they don't even dub it, do they? There was a whole thing about, American kids speaking with English accents because they were watching too much Peppa.
Well, it's the other way, though, isn't it, too? Like, a lot of English...
I don't know how to whistle. Do you know how to whistle?
I don't know how to whistle.
You just put your lips together and you sort of blow.
It's a very sassy Peppa. That's one of my favourite Peppa Pig
nice
clips.
reenaction that we did.
We did a little reenaction. That was a little special one for you. South Carolina deputies capable of rescue after a large pig created a traffic issue.
Did they shoot it to death?
Let's find out. The deputies were eating well that evening.
It was at Old York Road.
They shared the 4 trotters worth with all of them.
Wait a minute.
What?
Is this a fucking nursery rhyme? They went to Old York Road, where Peppa Pig was. And all the soldiers tried to move him out of the way. But Peppa Pig wouldn't go with them.
He was causing a right fuss.
Fuck! I'm going to break that thing one day. I'm going to break that mouse by just dropping it one day.
Why do you drop it so much?
Because it's balanced on a curved leather arm of a sofa.
It's true.
Right? It's like the most perilous position. Like, I'd be better off putting it on my head, honestly. although the wire is sort of...
Actually is more stable. You just have to keep very still. I'll use it.
Okay, all right. Scroll down a bit. Oh, they got the horse. They got the mounted unit to appear, not in order to use horses to sort of control the pig, but in order to just load him in the back of a horse trailer.
Right.
Wait,
I see.
hang on. Go back up. Go back up. It only took them 3 minutes to get rid of him.
Well, they're efficient.
Fucking hell, they are very efficient.
unusually so and they didn't even have to shoot it,
They got him in the back of the pig trailer.
Look at these pictures.
Oh.
Look at that with the lights.
That is beautiful. That is a beautiful fucking pig.
He is. He's
He's
statuesque.
very furry, doesn't he? He's a very furry pig, is Papa Pig. He's a big lad.
He's a big oinker.
He's a big old.
He obviously escaped.
Wow. What a lovely boy. I love him very much. He is my son.
Pig escapes. Blocks motorway.
Where did he come from?
Pig is
Where
rescued.
did he come from? Where did he go?
Is that literally the story?
That is it. But I like. Oh my god! There's even a fucking video of. Oh, this is his home. I think they've delivered him back to his owner. That's his wife. Oh no, that's a dog.
You got that fence that somebody can open? Is that where we're putting him?
Wow.
What a
riveting piece of video
terrible
that
video.
is. I mean, this isn't news, really, is it? It's not even comedy news.
What?
Pig escapes.
Pig escapes
Pigs.
is recaptured in 3 minutes. It's. Do you know what? It would have been a better story if he'd killed a kid or something, right? I know it's a horrible thing to say. It's a horrible thing to say, but if Papa Pig had fucking killed and eaten a child, this would have been a much better story.
I agree. I mean, this didn't hold my. I'm used to darker stuff. After years of Netflix and watching these.
Do you know what?
Murder mysteries.
Next time Papa Pig escapes, and there will be a next time,
don't capture him until.
Do you know what?
Something more dramatic has happened.
Anyone, if maybe you've got like one of those police radios and you're in South Carolina and you hear the police responding to Papa Pig, just go and
We got a code 69 on York County Road.
Hold up a liquor store or something, and then they'll have to go and take care of that instead of the pig.
Right.
And that will give Papa Pig an opportunity to murder and devour a child.
Locally.
And then finally we can get some good fucking news for this
stupid
YouTube
show.
video.
Yeah.
/ podcast. That's all I want. What if it breaks into like a school? In the daytime. Kids are all there in the classrooms. Papa Pig just crashes in.
Well, I mean, they're all armed though, aren't they? Those kids.
Oh well, no,
It's a
but
school.
the cops are that are in.
No, it's
in
an
the
American school.
The kids have all got guns.
Yeah, that pig won't.
Please, motherfucker!
That pig won't stand a chance. It has to break into somewhere where they are not going to be allowed guns.
A place where there's kids and no one with guns. Let me just Google logged in on my Google work account.
Fine.
That's what he whistles.
I mean, he is 4 trotters worth of prime,
Pork.
Chinese pork. They'd love him.
I mean, that guy running the restaurant would love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my god.
That's 12 quid's worth of trotters right there.
If that asshole comes in live streaming, I'll just hand over the pig to him and say, go to town, mate.
How much is the tail
Go to
worth?
town.
People eat the tails?
Okay, what people eat oxtails, so presumably.
I don't know if they do.
Cheeks, people eat pig cheeks. So that's a Bristolian speciality. Pig cheeks.
Is it? Yeah. I thought tail sort of didn't mean the actual tail, did it? I thought it meant like this kind of
there is meat in
the rump.
There is meat right at the base of the tail.
Is there?
Yeah.
The wagon bit.
The wagon bit. The fly swatter bit.
Yeah. Oof. Makes me
You
queasy.
eat it like a pocky. Crunching into it.
Pocket.
God.